We're ready, right? Okay. 各位女士、各位先生，欢迎大家来到今天，我们有索马利兰的这个外交部长他所率领的这个部长的这个访问团来到台湾访问，跟媒体的这个见面会哦。我等一下会一一介绍我们在台上的部长们啊，然后请他们简短的发言。那媒体朋友都有很多的问题，我们都收到了，我们等一下就来进行我们的这个 Q&A。Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this press meeting with the delegation of the Republic of Somaliland, which is led by His Excellency Dr. Isa Khalid Mohamud. He's the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, together with other distinguished ministers we have here on the stage. I will first introduce them very briefly, and then also acknowledging we have some VIPs with us in the audience. And afterwards, we invite them to each one of them to say a few words. And then we'll be opening the floors for each one of you because we read your questions, great questions, and then we'll be answering to all your questions. Okay, first, allow me to first introduce His Excellency Dr. Isa Khalid Mohamud. He's the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Republic of Somaliland. 索马利兰的外交部长瑞格萨阁下。再来，我们还有这个索马利兰的这个财政发展部财长哦，希瑞阁下 ，His Excellency Dr. Saad Ali Sherif, he's the Minister of Finance Development of Republic of Somaliland. 再来，我们还有这个索马利兰的计划跟国家发展部长阿卜杜拉阁下 ，His Excellency Omar Ali Abdullah Ilahi, he's the Minister of Planning and National Development of Republic of Somaliland. 再来，我们有这个索马利兰的这个畜牧跟渔业发展部的这个部长穆合德阁下 ，We have His Excellency Syed Sulub Mohammed. He's the Minister of Livestock and Fishery Development. 我们的索马利兰的畜牧跟渔业部长。Okay, we have four very distinguished and important ministers of the Republic of Somaliland with us, and we're very honored they're visiting Taiwan on the first time. 那接下来我就先请我们的这个外交部长，索马利兰的外交部长来致辞。I would like to first welcome and invite His Excellency Dr. Isa Khalid Mohamud. He's the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation to address the audience. And before I give the floor, I also want to distinguish the presence here of the Honorable Muhammad Omar Haji Mohamud. He's representative of the Republic of Somaliland here in Taiwan. 我们索马利兰驻台湾的代表穆姆德代表，还有我们外交部亚西跟非洲司的司长杨新颖杨大使 ，Ambassador Ali Yang, he's Director General of Department of West Asian and African Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Taiwan. 还有我们现场还有我们的李志强李处长，他是外交部礼宾司的这个处长哦，这礼宾处的处长 Ambassador Tom Lee, he's Chief of Protocol of Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Taiwan. So right now, I'm very honored to welcome and to invite His Excellency, the Foreign Minister, Dr. Isa Khalid Mohamud, the Foreign Minister of Somaliland, to address the audience. Your Excellency.
It is on. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, dear friends, I thank you for being here today. As a Minister of Foreign Affairs from Somaliland, my name is Isa Khalid. I would like to tell you that my delegation and I are very happy to be in Taiwan. We've been greeted and treated very well. It's a country where we share a lot of values. It's a country where we have a high level of relationship. And I think most of what we share are democracy, human rights, respect of human rights, and women empowerment, of course, in our country as well. And those are mostly what I would say. We've been received very well with high-level protocol, and that was great. and welcoming your questions whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much for our minister. And then I would like also give the floor to His Excellency Dr. Said Ali Shere. He's the Minister of Finance. Your Excellency.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm very pleased to be here with you today. I must start by acknowledging the great hospitality of the government and the people of Taiwan. It has been really incredible. We feel like coming from home and coming home. Our relationship is young, but in that short period, our cooperation has been deep and diverse. Our relationship is complementary and mutual. There is a lot we can learn from Taiwan and a lot we can share in diverse areas, in security, in development and investment. And we look forward to prospering that relationship in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister. Before we proceed, I forgot. Do we need translation for that? 有没有需要翻译？还是我们整场都可以用英文进？大家有没有翻译？举手一下好不好？让我看一下，有需要吗？还是大家听英文都 OK？ 听英文都 OK 是吧？ All good in English? OK? Yeah? Just make sure. 好，那如果听英文都 OK 的话，不需要翻译，我们现场也有翻译哦。好，都没有哈。好 OK, they're all good. They're all bilingual. So perfect. So we proceed quicker and faster. Okay, so next, I would like also to invite the Minister of Planning and National Development to speak. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. It is a great honor to be here in Taipei, Taiwan. We have been received well. The friendship of the two governments actually is very strong, and we will need to continue on that. As a Minister of Planning, I have a lot of time to discuss the development issues with the Taiwanese partners, including education, health, agriculture, energy, and different sectors, so that our economy learns from the economy of Taiwan. We have been fascinated by the level of development in this country, and we hope that our relations will be as high as Taipei 101. Last night we were taken to that building, and we believe that it will grow and reach 101, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Oh, and also, last but not the least, we also have Minister of Livestock and Fishery Development. Your Excellency, would you like to say hi to the public?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I am the Minister of Livestock and Fishery Development. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to everyone. This is my first time to visit to Thailand. To Taiwan. I and my colleagues, we are very delighted. The warm welcome we received from the government of Taiwan and the people of Taiwan. And I'm thanking them very much. Thailand, we started with good relations, and I'm sure this relations will deepen, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, the ministers. Okay, so now if that's okay, we'll open the floor and we'll open the questions. Okay, we received a lot of questions. I have 8 pages of questions. 我现在有8页, okay? So as usual, what we do, we're going to group it into group, and I'm going to read all the questions, and then you feel free to raise your hand if you have additional questions within the group. Okay, so let me share about the group that we have been receiving. I have the first group asking asking about their experience in Taiwan, the observations, whether they have any touching stories they want to share, the general relationship between Taiwan and Somaliland. Some of them are asking about the maritime cooperation, which is very interesting, and also the drill for crude oil. That's the first group. Okay, and then we have the second large group, because I received a lot of questions on the possibilities of establishing diplomatic relations, whether that is a possibility. And thus, I have like 8 or 9 questions as well, so I separate that into a separate group, and also whether it is feasible, possible, the visit of heads of states between Taiwan and Somaliland. That'll be the second group. Okay, there's third group of questions all about China, whether the relationship with China, whether they have received a lot of pressure from China. And then there's a fourth group of questions, or the other questions, or any other question you want to raise here on ground, okay? So what we're going to do is we always do, I'm going to read all the questions, and then if you have any additional questions from the group, you raise your hand and let me know if that is you want to ask as well, okay? We do the first group about their delegation's experience in Taiwan, and in general, their impression about Taiwan. We read the questions from China TV, from 华视知情，华视在问这一次访台的感想，两国的防疫的作为的差异。Okay, so for the responses, I might suggest a translation, so we make sure we all get to know their explanation. 华视知情在问访台的感想，两国的这个防疫作为的差异哦。What are your thoughts about the visit to Taiwan? What are the differences between Taiwan's and Somaliland anti-pandemic measures? Okay, I also from Era TV, Next TV, 年代一电视进发在问，就是请教访团访台的目的。Could you please discuss the purpose of your visit to Taiwan? I also have from 青年日报Youth Daily News from 点瑞，这一次这个访台最感动的动人的故事What are the touching moment or the greatest impressions you have on your visit to Taiwan? I have from Taiwan Vanguard 前进新闻网 I have from 佩玲she's asking 目前除了公共卫生领域的合作之外，索马利兰还有没有哪一些合作领域是优先希望台湾支持的？In addition to Taiwan's current cooperation with Somaliland in public health, what are other domains does Somaliland hope to prioritize for cooperation with Taiwan? I have Epoch Times from 心怡 is asking 对台湾海巡合作有哪一些期待？索马利兰跟这个台湾中游合作目前进度如何？Expectations that Somaliland have in terms of Coast Guard cooperation with Taiwan? What is the current progress with Taiwan CPC, the cooperation, the oil drilling cooperation with Somaliland? I have from 自由时报 Liberty Times from 陈玉陈玉在问请教这个外长，您这一次跟海巡署长的这个交流，能不能透露双方聊了些什么？台湾海上安全的经验能够给索马利兰什么样的一个借鉴Liberty Time questions for the foreign minister during this trip. You met with Director General of the Coast Guard Administration. Can you tell us what was discussed? What are the insights you think Taiwan can provide in terms of maritime security experience? Also from Deutsche Welle, William is asking, how has the bilateral relationship been advanced since Taiwan and Somaliland opened representative offices in each other countries last year? I have also from 上报佩芬 Up Media， 佩芬在问索马利兰跟台湾同样积极争取国际认同以及国际参与，索马利兰跟台湾可以在哪一些方面进行合作？Up Media is asking, Taiwan and Somaliland both actively seeking international recognition and international participation. What are some areas which you think Taiwan and Somaliland can cooperate? In the same group, I also have Mirror TV, 镜电视志恒。志恒在问钻滩原油的计划有没有进一步的进度可以说明？这次跟台湾中油有促成哪一些新方面的合作？Mirror TV has any further progress made between Taiwan and Somaliland in terms of the drill for the crude oil? Does CPC cooperation have any new cooperation objective with Somaliland? Okay, and then these are the first group of the general relations, Taiwan, Somaliland, and their impression about Taiwan. We do the next group about the diplomatic recognition. So for this group, any other questions on the ground, additional questions? No? Okay, so these are already a lot of questions. Shall we invite the foreign minister perhaps to respond, if you wish, Your Excellency? Thank you.
Well, thanks again. I think with all the questions I gathered, let me first go how we felt about our visit to Taiwan. Our visit was an official visit that we received. My delegation and I have been really welcomed to this country. We have had meetings with the president of Taiwan and also different cabinet ministers of Taiwan, as well as different organizations in Taiwan. We've been very touched how people are friendly, approachable, kind, and then we, of course, as I said, we have a lot of similarities in terms of how we see our two countries in the future. That's answering the first question about our visit in Taiwan. The second visit about the pandemic between Somaliland and the difference in Taiwan. Of course, Taiwan has much more ability to fight this pandemic, but nevertheless, we share the same universal precautions to fight this disease, which is mask and protection gears, and also testing, isolations. And there's so many things that are possible in Taiwan that are not really possible in Somaliland to fight the pandemic. That may be, some of them may be cultural related, and some may be just basically just only resource related.
Okay, I will let our translator, if with your permission, Minister Sophie, to translate these two paragraphs, very important one. 这样大家都 make sure 我们回答我们就用中文，这样大家都听得懂。Okay, Sophie, please, thank you.
首先，非常感谢我们这一次真的非常高兴可以来到台湾。那这一次的访问是一个非常官方的访问，我们也受到了非常热烈、非常高度的欢迎。我们与蔡总统有会面，还有各个部长，还有台湾的一些其他的组织的代表。台湾的人民都非常的友善，而且温暖。我们两国之间也有非常多的共通点，所以我们非常期待未来两国关系的深化。那第二点就是关于防疫，我们国家索马利兰跟台湾在防疫方面当然有一些不同的地方。台湾的防疫能量当然是比较高，但是我们也共享一些防疫的措施，像是佩戴口罩，还有这个个人防护装备，还有这个筛检，还有隔离。那在台湾呢，当然有一些措施是我们在索马利兰所做不到的，那这可能是因为一些文化上或是我们资源上的这个差异。
Thank you, Minister. You can proceed if you like.
Okay, the other question was maritime and crude oil. I mean, I'll probably refer that question to Dr. Saad.
Thank you, Minister. If you would allow me, I would like perhaps to say a couple of words about Somaliland. I know you all know about Somaliland, but for the benefit of the audience, Somaliland is a sovereign country. It was a former British protectorate. It has international boundaries, and in 1960, willingly joined Somalia. That union didn't go very well. And we had a 10-year civil war. By 1991, we were able to liberate our country and resume our sovereignty. It's a democratic, peaceful, stable country, a beacon of democracy in the Horn of Africa, you can say. We share values and history with Taiwan. With regard to the investment, Somaliland is open for investment. We have awarded concessions to several countries to explore hydrocarbons in Somaliland. CBC acquired an interest in one of the companies in Ganel. And we hope it will start exploration activities soon, and we welcome that. And we look forward also to other Taiwanese companies to come to Somaliland and take advantage of the many opportunities in investment that we have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. We need translation for those very important words. Yeah.
好的，首先我想要介绍一下这个索马利兰，我们是一个主权国家。那我们之前是英属的领地，后来经历了10年的内战，但是在1991年的时候，我们顺利的独立，拿回我们的主权。那我们索马利兰是一个民主、和平而且非常稳定的国家。我们也是非洲民主的一座灯塔。我们与台湾共享许多的价值，还有相似的历史。所以我们也希望看到更多来索马利兰投资的公司，像是我们之前有邀请很多的国家来探查在索马利兰投资石油这方面。那我们台湾的中油也跟英国的 Janel 这个公司一起来合作。那我们也非常欢迎这样的发展，我们也期待看到其他台湾的企业来到索马利兰投资。
Thank you. And the Minister would like to add, yes.
Am I on? Okay.
You're on.
On the security support, answering your question about the security support and the Coast Guard, Somaliland security support sector plans include strengthening the capacity and the capability of our security forces. The specific needs include training and equipment for the Coast Guard. Now, the Coast Guard training, it is for the greater good of the area. It's to keep the long Somaliland coast free of piracy, terrorism, illegal fishing, illegal dumping of waste, developing and enhancing the capability and capacity of Somaliland Coast Guard will contribute to the overall security of the vital shipping land of the Red Sea.
Thank you. Translation for that, please, Toshi. Thanks.
那刚才有提到关于和台湾在海巡方面合作的一些规划，那我们现在主要是希望可以强化索马利兰的海巡的这个能量。那具体的来说，我们希望可以有更多的训练，还有更多的设备。那这我认为是对整个区域是有益处的，因为我们可以确保索马利兰的海岸线不受到海盗活动、恐怖主义、非法渔业还有非法倾倒垃圾这些问题的干扰。那我们也认为这是对整个区域都是有贡献的。
I'll proceed and to protect our Coast Guard. Our Coast Guard needs so much. We expect Taiwan to assist in these areas. And in fact, anybody else like the EU has done already, and so many other countries done. But also, we welcome Taiwan to actually be also one of the other countries who would like their support. Things that we really need to make sure that we secure this 850 kilometers of water that we have, of coastline that we have, are speedboats, for example, surveillance, drones, and possibly helicopters for search and rescue missions, as well as for surveillance purpose. Those are actually, that'll be the answer for this question. If I proceed to the next one, regarding if I met the Director General of Coast Guard Administration, my answer is not yet. I haven't met the director yet. Hopefully I'll meet the director later on today. How have bilateral relations advanced since Taiwan and Somaliland opened representative office in each other's countries since 2020? Well, until now, everything is going as forecasted, and as it's progressing very well. There are ongoing technical assistance projects in agriculture, in ICT, trade, medical sectors, which I believe is extremely valuable for Somaliland's development and increase Taiwan's international influence. Despite the COVID-19 challenge, the cooperation was going smoothly and positively. So the trade and business, we have organized different seminars and attended trade fairs to boost the economic cooperation. All the cooperation projects are in the early phases and progressing very well.
Excellent. Thank you so very much. We need translation for that, please, Sophie.
所以关于这个海巡方面的合作，我们非常希望这个台湾还有美国等等其他国家都非常欢迎提供给索马利兰我们所需要的支援。那我们主要是希望确保我们海岸线的安全。那为了达到这个目标，我们可能需要更多的巡逻船或是更多的直升机可以进行这个救援相关的工作。那关于刚才有问到，我是否有与这个海巡署署长周美武来进行交流？那我的答案是我们还没有碰到面，但是今天稍晚我们就会与这个海巡署长来碰面。那关于另外一个问题是，台湾和索马利兰在彼此国家设立代表处，这个2020年的发展之后，我们双边关系有什么样的进展？那我想要回答的是，我们的进展非常的顺利，而且也有很多正面的发展，像是在农业、资通讯、贸易还有医疗合作方面都有很好的这个结果。那尤其是在医疗方面的合作，我认为这对索马利兰的发展是非常重要的，这也可以让台湾有更多的这个国际影响力。所以我会说，虽然因为全球疫情受到一些阻扰，但是我们的双边关系进行的是非常的顺利，而且非常正面的。我们也希望可以促进更多在贸易、经济方面的交流，所以我们也有举行一些这个商业的媒合会，希望可以更加促进这样的发展。
Thank you. So, if there's anything to add, or shall we proceed a second?
I can proceed. I can proceed. Next question, there was Taiwan and Somaliland both actively seek international recognition and international participation. Let me go back a little bit in the history. When we became independent from the British colony in 26 June 1960, almost 35 countries has recognized Somaliland. Among them was 12 African countries. Somaliland was recognized at that time, and today I assure you that Somalilanders are resilient people. They came through a war that has destroyed their cities, that has cost them about 250,000 lives, and they've been able to liberate the country and regain or retake their land, the former British colony, former British protectorate. So in other words, Somaliland is a sovereign country. Somaliland has the right to choose who they're dealing with and who they're doing business with. Somaliland, a vibrant youth, which is 70% under the age of 40, are in need of education and jobs. So if somebody actually is sitting on the wrong seat, that is Somalia, Because when we became independent in 1960, 26 June 1960, 4 days later, we took our flag to Somalia. And then, without being recognized, Somalia was never recognized. They're today occupying the United Nations seat that we should have occupied. They're sitting on the AU seat that we should have, because we're the one who have been recognized first. And that it is. That's how it is. And how we talk to who do want to be having relations and diplomatic relations and all that stuff. I won't be very stuck with the word diplomatic, because there's a word in French that say la politique politicienne, means that these are the political words. We're doing so many things with Taiwan. We have a lot of values. We share so many things. There's also another French proverb that says, "Ceux qui se ressemblent s'assemblent." Those that look like each other get together. In other words, Somaliland and Taiwan think alike. They're resilient. We have natural resources. They have the know-how. We are for democracy. We are for free elections. We are for multipartyism. We are for free and fair free expression. We are the only country in the world who probably had biometric taken while we were voting in our elections. In May, we had 2 consecutive elections, which was the parliamentary election and also the local government election. And unlike a lot of African countries, when the opposition won most of the seats, it was business as usual the next day. There was no war, there was no problem, everything was fine. The difference between us and most of other countries, like our neighbor called Somalia, is in Somaliland, because of our democracy, because of our layers that allow us to live in peace and tolerate each other and respect each other's right, we sleep well at night and dream of a better future the next day. So we stand for that. In terms of the relations that we have with Taiwan, it is the top relations that we could have with any other country. Taiwan helped us when we needed the most during the pandemic, when we were not able to get immunization for most of our people. Taiwan stepped up and sent us vaccine. Now that we need to explore our resources, because we're not a poor country. We may be broke, but not poor. We have unlimited fishery with 850 kilometers coast. We have untapped large resource underground. So we have the resources, that they have the know-how. We both are countries that are called, quote-unquote, unrecognized. And I think that this is not gonna diminish the will of the Somalilanders. When we had a vote, referendum, over 90% of the Somalilanders voted to keep their country as safe as possible, away from terrorism, away from Al-Qaeda and Al-Shabaab, away from piracy. And this has been the real reset for the progress that's happening today. You've seen that we have the DP world, where we attract foreign investors, and that's how we want to do business. Before we talk about recognition, we will talk about engagement. We would like to engage with people, tell people who we are, what we have, what they can contribute. And then from there, we develop our economy, create jobs, and find a way to have more and more friends like Taiwan.
Thank you very much for this very important touching words. We definitely need translation. Sophie.
所以当初在1960年的时候，我们脱离这个英属的这个领地，我们不再是英属的领地。那时候有20几个国家都承认索马利兰，那其中也有12个非洲的国家。那如今，我认为索马利兰是一个民族性非常坚强，我们是非常坚强的一个民族。我们经历了战争，这些战争可能摧残了我们的家园，甚至有这个25万人丧生。但是我们还是继续的捍卫着我们的自由，而且重新拿回我们的家园。所以索马利兰是主权国家，我认为我们有权利来选择我们想要跟谁来当朋友，跟谁来进行交易。索马利兰也有很多的年轻人，我们40岁以下的人，总共是我们的人口的70%。那这对于教育还有工作也是非常重要的。如果要说有谁这个坐错位置的话，那应该是索马利亚才对。他们是坐到了我们在联合国的位置，因为那时候世界上其他的国家是先承认索马利兰，而不是索马利亚。所以我认为其实我们不应该拘泥于这个外交关系，外交这2个字。可以看到，我们跟台湾其实有很多的合作，而且我们也共享许多的价值、许多的理念。那法文有一个字是说，这个同类相聚。那我们跟台湾也是理念相近的国家，我们都是非常坚强的民族，而且索马利兰拥有许多的天然资源。那像台湾这些国家，他们有如何使用这些天然资源的一些知识。那跟台湾一样，我们也有这个自由的选举，我们也有这个表达意见、言论的自由。那可以说，我们好像是世界上唯一一个在选举的时候有这个生物辨识的这个系统的国家。就在去年5月，我们进行了2场的选举，一场是这个国会，一场是在地政府的选举。那时候呢，其实跟非洲其他国家不一样。我们选举结果是反对党他们拿到了多数的席位，但是呢，我们没有看到任何的暴动，没有看到任何的这个抗议，隔天还是一切照常的进行。所以和索马利亚不一样，我们是非常民主、非常和平、非常尊重彼此的国家。所以我也期待看到我们未来更加安定、更加美好的这个发展。我们也会持续的坚守我们的价值，像是我们与台湾的关系就是非常重要的。在我们面对疫情非常需要援助的时候，台湾也运送给我们这个高端的疫苗，这是非常重要的。我们接下来也希望可以继续的探索索马利兰所拥有的天然资源。我不认为我们是一个很穷困的国家，因为我们有很长的海岸线，我们有很多的渔业的资源，还有地底的矿物，还有能源的这个相关的蕴藏。那台湾跟索马利兰，很多人会说我们是在国际上未受承认的国家，那我认为这是不对的。在之前我们有举办公投，那有90%的索马利兰的人民都希望可以继续保持我们国家的安全。我们不希望我们国家内有恐怖主义、阿尔盖达、还有青年党、还有海盗相关的活动。我们接下来希望做到的事情就是吸引更多的外国投资，然后和其他国家先进行互动。我们要告诉整个世界我们是谁，我们拥有什么，然后我们再来发展我们的经济，创造更多的 这个就业机会，我们就可以结交更多像台湾这样的好朋友。
Now, with the permission of the minister, we will move to the next category, which we have a lot of questions asking about the possibilities of establishing diplomatic relations. Allow me to read all the questions, okay? From 中央社 CNA 佑珍 would you like to kindly comment on the prospect of establishing formal diplomatic relations with Taiwan? From AFP L'Agence France Presse 法新社 Amber 索马利兰跟台湾互设办事处已经1年多了，这是不是考虑进一步的深化双边的关系，建立正式外交关系？ It has been over a year since Taiwan and Somaliland established representative offices in each other's countries. Are you considering to further deepening bilateral relations and establishing formal diplomatic relations? From ET Today 燕慈，索马利兰跟我国目前已经互设代表处，未来是否有进一步深化友谊，如建交或是总统互访的机会？ And ET is asking, Taiwan and Somaliland have established representative offices. In the future, would there be opportunities to further deepen this friendship, such as by establishing formal diplomatic relations and engaging in mutual state visits? From Epoch Time, 辛怡，新一问互设代表处之后，两国有没有进一步相互承认建交邦谊的可能 ？Following that our two countries' mutual establishment of representative offices, is there any possibility of establishing formal diplomatic relations? From TVBS 婷婷 asking 台所未来关系的发展会否建交？ As Taiwan-Somaliland relations strengthen, will formal diplomatic ties be established in the future? From 中时孟丽 China Times 孟丽 is asking, 请问索马利兰是否有规划跟台湾建交 Does Somaliland plans to establish formal diplomatic relations with Taiwan? We also have from Financial Times Kathleen. Kathleen is asking, why did Somaliland and Taiwan not establish diplomatic relations? Does Somaliland aim for that? If not, why not? What is the scope that sees for cooperation with Taiwan in strategic and security matters, and how such potential cooperation might be linked to relations with the United States? We also have from Mirror TV 志恒在问，这次来访双边互动堪称准邦交国，是否正朝向升格为友邦努力 ？Mirror TV is asking, during this visit, bilateral interactions could be regarded as quasi-diplomatic. Are both sides working toward elevating relations to formal diplomatic ties? Okay, within this category is a lot of questions already. Any other questions you want to read? Okay, yes, that's from Ting. Is that Ting? Okay, yes, okay. Within this category.
It's still within the same category. I just have an extra question to say that is there a specific timeline in regards to possible establishing diplomatic ties between both countries?
Okay, now adding timelines. Okay. Okay. Minister.
You guys are stuck with diplomatic relations. I don't know why. What does it mean for you? I don't speak that language. Taiwan and my country, Somaliland, has the highest multifaceted relation. The highest, the best. We cannot have any better than that. Now, whether you want to frame that diplomatic, undiplomatic, I'll leave that to you guys. But what we have now, and where we came from, and who we see Taiwan as, is we came from not having a friend like Taiwan, not having a friend who can invest in our country, explore our natural resource, and teach our children, give them scholarship in the universities. We haven't had a country like Taiwan that had welcomed us a few days ago, this high-level delegation that you see here, with the highest level protocol, using what? Using our Somaliland passports. Now, I'll let you add whatever you want to add at the end, but the relation that we have is the highest level, the best that we can have, and it can only go better and farther and higher than that. Like my colleague said, higher than the building we saw last night, 101. it'll go even higher than that.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We need translation for that, please.
其实我不太确定为什么各位如此坚持，就是台湾跟索马利兰一定要有这个所谓外交的关系，因为我自己是认为台湾跟索马利兰的关系可以说是最高层级、最好的一段关系。那不管这段关系是否是正式的外交关系，我认为实质上我们的关系已经是最好的了。那我们以前呢，没有像台湾这样的朋友，台湾不但对我们有很多的投资，也帮助我们开发我们的天然资源，也提供很多的大学奖学金，让我们的年轻人到台湾来受教育。那我们以前也没有像台湾这样的这个朋友，我们这一次访团来到台湾，受到的是最高等级、最高规格的这个欢迎。那我们使用的也是我们索马利兰的护照。那所以我认为我们的双边的关系已经是最高层级最好的，那未来只会越来越好。就像我这个同事刚才所说的，我们希望比这个台北101还要更高更好。
Now, what I'd like to add to that is Somaliland is a sovereign country that has a determined territory, borders. The same way that the British colony had left us, like the chart, what the AU says, that the country has to be left at how the colony left them. So Somaliland is just respecting that. Somaliland is actually how the British protectorate left in 1960, 26 June 1960. We have a defined population of about 5 million. We have different political parties. We have our currency. We have our passport. We have our courts and justice system. We are a country. Now we happen to decide as a sovereign country who we want to deal with and formally engage with. And we have two conditions for that. Condition number one is when you're coming as a foreign country dealing with Somaliland, you have to know that you're dealing not with a portion of another country, but with a country called Somaliland. Secondly, when you're coming and dealing with us, there should not be any conditions or strings attached. That's what Somaliland stands for, and that's who we are.
Great, thank you so much. Sophie, please.
那我想要补充的是，索马利兰是主权国家，我们有自己的这个领土，那就是当时这个英国离开这个区域的时候留下来的这个领土。这个1960年的时候，那我们也有500万的人口，我们有不同的政党，我们有自己的这个汇率、自己的货币，还有自己的护照，我们有自己的法院，还有司法体系，所以我们可以说是一个真正的国家。那我认为我们可以决定我们想要与谁、与世界上哪一些国家进行官方的关系。那我认为我们有2个希望，就是第一个就是希望我们在与这些国家互动的时候，它可以尊重我们是一个自己的国家，而不是附属于其他国家的一个领域。那第二点就是我们希望我们的互动是非常真诚的，不附带任何条件或是交换利益的。那这就是我们所坚守的一些价值还有原则。
Now, I'd like to take the occasion if I heard there's a TV5 here, TV5.
Yes, probably not today, but we do, yes.
Oh, so there's no... I was going to say the same thing in French, but then...
But we have Agence France Presse, AFP.
Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un qui veut parler avec moi en français,
oui, en
me demander des questions?
Oui.
Qu'est-ce que c'est votre question?
AFP 的那个问题在 I can restate it.
Alors, la Somaliland est un pays...
Oui, ici, je les questions.
Ah, vous
Here,
avez-
yeah, oui,
vous parlez
seulement
français aussi?
Français, oui, ici. Oui, vous avez l'Agence France Presse. It has been over a year since Taiwan and Somaliland established representative offices in each other countries. Are you considering further deepening bilateral relationship?
Bien sûr.
Oui, bien sûr.
Bien sûr, j'ai répondu ça déjà. Vous voulez que je Alors, je redis ça en français. En français, oui. Mais bien sûr, il n'y a pas de problème. Oui, bien sûr, nous voulons avoir une relation beaucoup plus solide, beaucoup plus concrète, beaucoup plus durable avec le Taïwan. La Somaliland est un pays qui est indépendant, qui veut faire affaire à ceux qui respectent leurs frontières, leur dignité. Et nous sommes un pays qui est prêt à faire affaire avec tous les pays qui respectent la Somaliland en tant que pays indépendant. Et ceux qui veulent venir nous voir en Somaliland et faire affaire avec nous, parce que nous ne sommes pas pauvres. Nous sommes un petit peu sous-développés, si vous voulez, mais nous sommes très riches. Nous avons une côte de 850 km pleine de poissons et tout ce que vous voulez. Et puis nous avons aussi tout ce qui est sous-sol. Nous avons l'or, nous avons le pétrole, tout ce que vous voulez. Donc, le fait que nous avons le savoir-faire de Taïwan et les ressources naturelles de la Somaliland nous met dans une situation où nous ne voulons pas demander de l'aide aux pays qui s'appellent développés ou les organisations non gouvernementales, mais explorer ce que nous avons pour créer des emplois à notre jeunesse qui est 70% plus jeune que 35 ans ou 40 ans. C'est là où l'avenir est. What I'd like to also add to what I said earlier is when we have the knowledge, when we train and educate and prepare our vibrant 35 years old Somalilanders, young, bilingual, smart, educated, and probably would have, or Taiwan have a high-tech park. When we use what we have, our resource, then we don't need anybody. We don't need an aid, a handout. We won't need poisonous loans from any government that my third generation son will be in debt. This is who we are. We're resilient. We believe in ourselves. We know we can live. We know we can make. Et c'est pour cela que nous avons un pays comme le Taïwan. Et en fait, la France aussi, il faudra peut-être envoyer, je pense qu'il le voit en France, n'est-ce pas? En Somaliland, il y avait, dans les guerres mondiales, il y avait un bataillon qui s'appelait le bataillon Somaliland. Et 90% de ce bataillon était de la Somaliland. C'est très malheureux qu'aujourd'hui la France ferme les yeux. And then the world is actually rewarding the guy who's making all the mischiefs, next door neighbor, and punishing the people who, without any help, rebuild their country from the rebels. We rebuilt for almost from no formal aid. We counted ourselves, stood up, dusted our butt off the dust, and then we rebuilt what's today's Somaliland. And today, nous sommes ouverts. Nous sommes ouverts aujourd'hui à ce que le monde puisse voir là où nous sommes. We are located in a very strategic area of the world. This is interesting. And if we don't take care of that area, if we don't keep piracy out of that area, if we don't keep illegal dumping out of that area, then the world will not use the waterways from the Bab el-Mandeb all the way to wherever in a very safe way. And this is what we want the world to know. This is what we want the world to understand, the importance of that area that we have, the coast that we have. Très, très important. La France est vraiment, s'y connaît très bien. Et la France doit like a lot of other countries, just waking up. Oh, Somaliland is becoming a very important strategic ally, very important strategic place. It's about time that the world says, those guys are good. They deserve to be recognized. Even if I'm not recognized in the coming 100 years, my identity will always be Somalilander. I will always choose who I want to be a friend with. I will always defend my border and territory. Thank you.
On vous remercie, Monsieur le Ministre. On va faire la traduction de oui, et on va faire la prochaine catégorie.我们简单翻译一下刚刚部长讲的，然后我们就到下一个类别了。好 ，Merci。
那我想要补充一下，就是我希望我们可以在索马利兰有更多的训练、更多的教育，还有更多的准备，让我们的年轻人可以更加的拥有他们所需要的知识，还有语言能力。那也许像未来我们可以像台湾一样设立一个高科技园区，更妥善的运用我们的资源。那这么一来，我们就不需要仰赖外国的援助我们不希望这样子单方面的一直受到别人援助，而不是自立自强。因为我们的民族性，我们是相信自己的，我们是非常坚韧的民族。那接下来就是我认为这个世界正在奖赏我们制造麻烦的这个邻国，然后惩罚我们。我们其实是靠着自己的双手来重建家园，我们没有收到任何正式的这个援助，我们是自立自强重建家园的。那我认为我们没有受到应得的肯定，而是被惩罚。那其实索马利兰位在一个地理环境非常具有策略性的一个地点。那如果世界不注意这个地区的话，我们就没有办法顺利的阻止这个海盗行动，还有这个非法倾倒垃圾。那世界上其他国家可能也没有办法运用我们索马利兰附近的一些水道，没有办法安全的航行。所以我希望世界可以更加的注意到我们这个区域，我们这个海岸线，因为它是非常非常重要的。我希望更多的国家可以给予我们肯定，但是呢，无论有没有受到这个肯定或是认可，我的自我认同永远都是索马利兰，我是索马利兰人。那我认为我们有权可以选择我们要与谁来做朋友，我也会永远的来捍卫我自己的家乡、自己的国土。谢谢。
Thank you very much, Minister. Now, with Minister's permission, we move to the next category. We still have a lot of questions, and this category is about China and whether they have received pressure from China. And so I will also read all the questions. From 中时孟丽 China Times is asking, 在双方互设代表处这1年多以来，是否有持续受到中国的威胁利诱 ？Following China, Taiwan and Somaliland mutual establishment of representative offices, has Somaliland been threatened or enticed by China? From Radio Free Asia, 玉萍自由亚洲提问：中国在2020年试图以建设为筹码来利诱索马利兰，想要了解在这个之后，中方是否还有持续的攻势来争取索马利兰 ？In 2020, China tried to entice Somaliland using construction as a bargain chip. Has China made further advances to Somaliland since then? Also from Liberty Times, 陈玉问：中国不希望索马利兰跟台湾发展关系，并认为这会破坏它的一带一路的布局。然而，可能角逐今年总统大选反对党的这个党主席，扬言要跟中国发展关系。请问您的意见为何？Liberty Times, China does not want relations between Taiwan and Somaliland to deepen, as it fears this could damage its Belt and Road Initiative. The chairman of the Somaliland National Party, who may run for presidency next year, expressed interest in cultivating relations with China. Well, I wonder what would be your thoughts. From Up Media, 佩芬问：作为积极争取国际承认的主权国家，索马利兰需要更多能够为索马利兰发声的盟友。然而，目前台湾尚不具这些条件。想必在索马利兰国内存在一种意见，认为索马利兰应该要跟具有联合国或其他国际组织正式成员的身份的国家加强关系。想请问部长，中国是否曾以协助索马利兰参与国际组织为诱因，来游说索马利兰停止跟台湾往来？ From Up Media, as a sovereign nation actively seeking international recognition, Somaliland needs more allies that can speak up for it. However, Taiwan probably is not yet able to do so in international organizations. Presumably, are there those in Somaliland who believe that Somaliland should strengthen relations with countries that are full members of the United Nations and other international organizations? For Foreign Minister, has China ever lobbied Somaliland to stop interactions with Taiwan in exchange to helping Somaliland participate in international organizations? Also from NT Newtown Dynasty TV. 新唐人亚太电视东旭提问：索马利兰跟台湾互设代表处以台湾为名，又开展探勘油的油矿等长期的经济的合作。请问过程当中遭遇到哪一些中国方面的压力？索马利兰如何因应？索马利兰作为非洲重要的民主指标，怎么样看待中国对于非洲的模式，包括“一带一路”？还有索马利兰怎么样争取国际承认？有一些人士可能认为，中国作为联合国安理会的常任理事国，不要跟台湾发展关系，这样得罪中共。请问外长您怎么看 ？From the Newtown Dynasty TV, they're asking, Taiwan and Somaliland have established representative offices in each other countries, and the Office of Somaliland uses the word also Taiwan in its name. Our nations have also begun a long-term economic cooperation, such as oil exploitation. Throughout this process, has Somaliland come under any pressure from the Chinese Communist Party? If so, how has Somaliland responded? Somaliland has set a benchmark for democracy, is a benchmark for democracy in Africa, and as such, what do you think that of the China's engagement in Africa, including its Belt and Road Initiative? Somaliland seeks international recognition, so some might believe that Somaliland should not offend China, a member of the UN Security Council, for fostering relations with Taiwan. I wonder what would be the thoughts of the foreign minister. Thank you so much. A lot of questions.
That was a lot of questions. So I think most of the questions were about China, this triangle, China, Taiwan, Somaliland. Well, let me tell you one thing. Somaliland is a sovereign country again. Nobody can dictate Somaliland who and what and how far they can get into bilateral relations with other countries. I think that's a precise and correct answer to the question. We were born free, and we will stay free, and then we will learn our business the way we want it. China cannot dictate. No other country can dictate who we are going to be. Now, on the other hand, I want to tell you that we're open to everybody, all nations around the world who respect our integrity as a country, as a sovereign country, and who come and want to do business with us without any strings or conditions. I think that's as clear as I can go about China and this coming back questions about China and all that.
Okay, very good. We need translation, Sophie, please.
所以刚才的问题似乎都是跟中国、台湾跟索马利兰有关。那我要再次的重申，索马利兰是主权国家，没有任何人可以替我们决定我们与谁交往，我们做哪一些政策上的决定，我们与谁建立双边的关系。那我们是一个自由的民族，也希望未来可以保有这样的自由。我们会依据自己的意志来行事，不会让中国或其他国家为我们做出决定。那我也要说，我们张开双臂欢迎世界上任何的国家，只要是尊重我们主权的国家，并且愿意不附带条件与我们进行互动的国家，我们都非常欢迎他们与我们进行交流。
Thank you very much. Anything to add, if you want to?
I'd like to actually let my colleague, Dr. Saad, Minister of Finance from Somaliland, also add his.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just would like to echo some of the things which the Minister explained. Just would like to touch on 2 points. One is the relationship between Somaliland and Taiwan. And the other point is the importance of Somaliland as the guardian of the security of the Red Sea. Now, with regard to the first, Somaliland and Taiwan have common aspirations and common principles and values which they share, and common interest. Our relationship is meant to be beneficial, not only to Somaliland and Taiwan, but to the global community. It's not meant to be adversarial. It doesn't distract anything from anyone. I think it's a relationship which everybody should be supporting. And our relationship is defined by action, not by words. We have been received with full diplomatic protocol. I will leave that to you how you define it. And we will reciprocate that in Somaliland. And by the way, Somaliland has representatives in more than 28 countries. And we have 6 consulates in Somaliland, which represent other countries. We have representatives from our neighbors, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya. We have representatives from Turkey, Taiwan. And we have also other unofficial representations from other countries in Europe. We have also a representative from the UAE. So it's really nothing extraordinary. And I understand that Taiwan has overseas offices in more than 50 countries around the world, and it's recognized by more than a dozen countries. So our relationship, I think, is in tone with that relationship which we have with other countries and Taiwan has with other countries as well. With regard to the importance of the maritime security, Somaliland happens to be in a very important strategic location on the Red Sea, where we have a very busy maritime lane, where more than 1/3 of the global trade passes through. And Somaliland has responsibility to ensure that passage is safe. And we have taken that responsibility very seriously. There has been no incidents of piracy in our seas. And I think we have the right to ask the international community, and that includes the government of Taiwan, to assist us to ensure that passage is safe, not only for us, but for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. Translation, Sophie, please.
那关于这一题，我想要邀请我们的财政部长来做一些补充。好的，各位先生女士，我要呼应我们外长刚才的这个发言。那我也想要提出2点，第一点是关于索马利兰与台湾的关系，第二点是关于索马利兰在海事安全上的重要性。那首先呢，索马利兰跟台湾拥有许多的共通点，我们有共同的理念、原则、价值以及利益。那我们的关系也是互惠互利的，而且这不仅限于台湾跟索马利兰，更是有助于这个全世界其他国家这个国际社群，他们都能够从中获益。那所以我认为我们的关系没有伤害到任何人，世界应该给予相当的支持。我们的关系也是建基于这些实质的行动，而不是只有这个话语。那索马利兰其实在世界各地也有很多的代表处，我们在索马利兰也有6个外国的这个代表处，像是吉布地、肯亚、土耳其、台湾，还有这个阿拉伯联合大公国。那就我所知，台湾在这个世界各地也有超过50个国家有这个设立代表处。台湾也有14个邦交国，所以我认为这个国际上的合作是非常重要的。那再来就是索马利兰在海事安全方面的重要性。我们索马利兰的地理位置其实是一个非常有策略重要性的，在红海这边的 位置。那我们附近的水道也是非常繁忙的，世界上有1/3的这个货品都是从这里来经过，所以索马利兰有责任维护这些水道的安全，我们也非常重视这样的责任。那其实真的，我们有看到有一些海盗活动是真实有发生的一些事件，所以我认为我们有权利去要求、请求国际社会，包括台湾，来帮助我们确保这些水道的安全。
Thank you very much. If the minister, I don't know, would you like to add or yeah? Okay, we go. Okay, so then with his permission, we move to the next category, which is the last one, and these are the others issues. And it's by United Daily News, UDN, 联合报敬宇有问到，台湾身处于美国跟中国两强对峙的最前线，请问外长给台湾的相关的外交建议啊。So Taiwan stands on the front lines in the competition between the United States and China. Do you have any advice for Taiwan? And that is addressed to the foreign minister. And so that is our last category. I don't know whether there's any other issues or questions you want to raise. 现场有没有其他媒体想要再问其他的？来，这是来这边请，来请。
Hello, this is Imu from Reuters. I have a question for the finance minister. Between Taiwan and Somaliland, has there been any discussion on getting a loan from Taiwan recently? And if so, can you please give us an update? Thank you.
Thanks, Imu. That's from Reuters, Lu Tou. So any other questions on the ground you want to ask? Yeah? No? Okay, so great. Okay, so we have these two questions, and we invite them if they wish to respond, if they wish.
Well, thank you very much for the question. Well, so far, there has been no request from our side to borrow from Taiwan, but there has been a flow of funds from Taiwan to Somaliland in the form of aid and in the form of investment, which we welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Translation, Sophie.
所以目前没有这个借贷的计划，但是有一些相关的资金，像是一些援助的资金，还有投资的形式。谢谢。
讨论。Okay. Any other? I don't know whether the minister if there's nothing to add. We have no questions so far. Okay, so yeah, I also want to thank the foreign minister and Minister of Finance, Minister of Planning, and Minister of Livestock. We have seen here the highest level, as the minister said, from Somaliland in their historic visit to Taiwan, which we're deeply grateful. And as the minister rightly pointed out, we hope to deepen our friendship and our relationship. In the years to come, it's only going to be better and better. 所以我们今天没有其他的问题了哦。那所以非常谢谢大家今天的这个参与。那我们相信台湾跟索马利兰的关系，我们会更加友好。我们也谢谢他们这一次4位很重要的部长来台湾进行这样子的一个历史性的这个访问也深具意义。So any concluding remarks?
Français, s'il vous plaît.
Oui, c'est en français. 他现在。
Vous venez de dire en français.
Bien sûr. Alors, ça pour la radio, la France, c'était très important la visite de 4 ministres du Somaliland, que nous sommes tellement heureux, reconnaissants de leur visite. C'était une visite historique. Je crois que la relation entre Taïwan et Somaliland va être mieux, et la relation et l'amitié, on va être très heureux et très ravissants. Et nous sommes très reconnaissants de leur visite historique de 4 ministres de la République de Somaliland. Merci bien.
Merci. Thank you very much, and merci beaucoup. I think that's it.
That's
isn't
it. Yeah, thank you so much also for your participation. 也谢谢在场的媒体哦 Thank you for each one of you for your participation in this press conference. And thanks for all the foreign ministers that have been sharing their time and have been spoken openly and with such warm and friendship. And we're really really grateful. Okay, so 有需要合照吗？还是不需要？大家都 OK 吗？有吗？电视台的朋友有没有需要？有？有吗？好，要不要有需要大合照吗？还是不要？有，好，点头。那这样 ，so let's also welcome the photo session they're requesting. Let's welcome also the representative of Somaliland, also the two ambassadors from MOFA. Please join us for like a photo session. Yes, they want a picture, a group picture. Is that okay? A group picture?